Hello students, myself Vinita Kumbhar, teacher in Department of Mathematics, DES Ferguson College Pune. Welcome you all in this session. In the previous session, we solved exercise 3.3 from chapter number 3, that is the trigonometric functions from paper 1. Few more sums we try from the same exercise using PowerPoint presentation. Sub question 4 we try now. Cosec inverse of minus root 2 plus cot inverse of root 3. Here also you will have to find the value of the expression. This type we have already done. The same procedure we follow. Find the value of each inverse function. Cosec inverse of minus of root 2 is equal to x. Next step, use the definition. Cosec of x is equal to minus root 2. Okay? Recall the value for which x is plus root 2. Every time I am saying you first find out for positive value and then give minus sign to the value. Okay? Cosec of pi by 4 is equal to root 2 we know. And if you feel this is very difficult to find, take the reciprocal. Reciprocal of cosec is sine of x. So sine of x is 1 upon root 2 and therefore x is equal to pi by 4. And if you feel it's not difficult, you can find directly. It's better, write cosec x is equal to root 2, therefore x is pi by 4. But we have minus root 2, therefore it is minus of cosec of pi by 4. Now with the rule, cosec of minus theta is equal to minus cosec theta. Rules for negative angles we have done. So we write minus cosec pi by 4 is equal to cosec minus pi by 4. Right? Now recall the principal value branch of cosec inverse x, which is the closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and minus singleton 0. This singleton 0 will have to exclude from this interval. See, the angle minus pi by 4 that we got here belongs to the principal value branch or not. So minus pi by 4 is minus 45 degrees and obviously that belongs to minus 90 to plus 90 minus singleton 0. Okay, therefore we write x is equal to minus of pi by 4. Therefore cosec inverse of minus root 2 is equal to minus pi by 4. We got the principal value here. Now find out for cot inverse of root 3. Actually orally we can find the angles. Remember, these inverse trigonometric functions means we are finding the angles for which the value is root of 3. Means trigonometric function is, now we find the value for cot inverse of root 3. With the same procedure we follow. Let cot inverse of root 3 is equal to y. Using the definition, cot y is equal to root 3. Find the angle y for which cot of that angle is root 3. You know cot of pi by 6, that is cot of 30 degrees is equal to root 3. Okay? Pi by 6 belongs to the open interval 0, pi. What this is? The principal value branch of cot inverse. So you will have to check whether pi by 6 belongs to the open interval 0, pi. Therefore we equate cot y equal to cot pi by 6 and therefore y is equal to pi by 6. Right? Therefore cot inverse of root 3, which is y, and y is nothing but pi by 6. So here we got the value of cot inverse of root 3. Now write down the expression which is given to you. Cosec inverse of minus root 2 plus cot inverse of root 3 is equal to whatever values you got, that we'll have to substitute here, which is minus pi by 4 plus pi by 6. Find out the LCM. LCM is 12. So to this term we'll have to multiply to both numerator denominator by 3. So this will give you minus 3 pi to this term you have to multiply numerator denominator by 2 and you will get 2 pi here and the denominator is common which is 12, right? So minus 3 pi plus 2 pi is equal to minus pi by 12. So thus the value of this expression is minus pi by 12. Clear? So all these sums comes under the heading evaluate the following. Now question number 3 we try. Prove the following. First is sine inverse of 1 upon root 2 minus 3 sine inverse of root 3 by 2 is equal to minus 3 pi by 4. So this is of the type prove that, therefore we start with LHS. Before that we find out each term, the principal value, and then we substitute in LHS. Let sine inverse 1 upon root 2 equal to x. Therefore, sine of x by definition is equal to 1 upon root 2. We know sine 45 degrees is equal to 1 upon root 2. That is sine pi by 4 is equal to 1 upon root 2. Recall the principal value branch for sine inverse, which is the closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And this angle pi by 4 belongs to the interval or principal value branch. Therefore, we can confirm x as pi by 4 and therefore put the value here x as pi by 4, giving you sine inverse of 1 upon root 2 is equal to pi by 4. Okay. Now let us find the principal value for sine inverse of root 3 by 2. With the same procedure, sine inverse of root 3 by 2 is equal to y. Write the definition. Sine of y is equal to root 3 by 2. See, every time we are using that definition of inverse trigonometry. That is sine y is equal to root 3 by 2, which is equal to sine of pi by 3. You know sine 60 degrees is equal to root 3 by 2 and 60 degrees is pi by 3. Next step is y belongs to. You will have to confirm whether pi by 3 belongs to the principal value branch. Y is equal to pi by 3, that is 60 degrees, and that belongs to the interval, closed interval minus 90 to plus 90. Therefore, sine inverse of root 3 by 2 is equal to pi by 3. Now in LHS, we put whatever values we got. So write down LHS as it is, then put the values. Pi by 4 we got for sine inverse of 1 upon root 2 minus 3 times. So that is minus 3 into sine inverse of root 3 by 2 we got pi by 3. Substitute here. This 3 and 3 gets cancelled and we left with pi by 4 and minus pi, which is minus 3 pi by 4, which is equal to RHS. See, every time we are finding the principal values. So sometimes it is show that, sometimes it is find the principal values, sometimes evaluate the following. In each and every type, we are finding the principal value by the same procedure. Only thing is, you will have to remember the principal value branch for each and every inverse trigonometric functions. Now the second sub-question under the heading prove the following. Sine inverse of minus 1 upon 2 plus cos inverse of minus root 3 by 2 is equal to cos inverse of minus 1 upon 2. See, if these values are positives, very easily we can find the values. But for negative signs, you must be very careful because there we will have to use the rules of allied angles or the rules for the negative angles. So we start with the solution with the same procedure. Let sine inverse of minus 1 upon 2 is equal to x. By the definition of inverse trigonometric functions, we write sine of x is equal to minus half. You know sine 30 degrees is equal to 1 upon 2, right? Therefore, minus sine 30 degrees is equal to minus 1 upon 2 and minus sine 30 degrees is nothing but minus sine pi by 6. Okay. Now, this minus sign we don't want outside. So, with the rules we are writing, don't change the meaning of the term, value of the term. So with the rules of negative angles, we write, you know, sine of minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. Therefore, sine of minus pi by 6 is minus sine pi by 6. Now look at these two terms. Thus we got sine of minus pi by 6 is equal to sine of x. Therefore, x is equal to minus pi by 6. But this is not the complete solution. We will have to check. Again, the angle minus pi by 6 belongs to the principal value branch. Minus pi by 6 is minus of 30 degrees and belongs to minus 90 to 90, the closed interval. So, we consider sine inverse of minus 1 upon 2 is equal to minus pi by 6. So, thus we got the value for the first term. Therefore, we call this as 1. Let us find out for the second, which is cos inverse of minus root 3 by 2. Let cos inverse of minus root 3 by 2 is equal to y. By definition, cos y is equal to minus root 3 by 2. You know, cos of 30 degrees is equal to root 3 by 2. Therefore, cos of, with negative sign, minus cos of pi by 6 is equal to minus root 3 by 2. But this minus sign with the rules we will have to write in this form, cos of pi minus pi by 6, because in the second quadrant cos is negative. So this is in the second quadrant, but the actual difference is 6 pi minus pi upon 6, which is 5 pi by 6. Therefore, cos y is equal to cos 5 pi by 6, and therefore we equate y with 5 pi by 6. Again, we will have to check whether 5 pi by 6 belongs to the principal value branch. For cos inverse, it is the closed interval 0, pi, or you may say 0 to pi. So 5 by pi by 6 is how many degrees? Pi by 6 is 30 degrees, right? 30 into 5, that is 150 degrees. It belongs to the interval 0 to 180. Therefore, we can conclude cos inverse of minus root 3 by 2 as 5 pi by 6. Call this as 2. Now the term in RHS. Let cos inverse of minus 1 upon 2 is equal to z. Therefore, cos z is equal to minus 1 upon 2. You know, cos 60 degrees is equal to 1 upon 2. For positive value first we find. Cos 60 degrees is 1 upon 2. Therefore, minus cos 60 degrees is minus 1 upon 2. And 60 degrees is nothing but pi by 3. So, thus we write minus of cos pi by 3 is equal to minus 1 upon 2. Again, as I told you, this minus sign we write in this manner. Cos of 180 minus theta, quadrant is second, and in the second quadrant cos is negative. I already explained here. Cos of pi minus theta is minus cos theta. So cos of pi minus pi by 3 is nothing but minus cos pi by 3. But the actual difference is 3 pi minus pi upon 3, which is cos of 2 pi by 3. Okay. So thus z is equal to 2 pi by 3. Again, we'll have to check whether this lies in the principal value branch, which is the closed interval 0, pi. And it lies. Therefore, cos inverse of minus 1 upon 2 is equal to 2 pi by 3. And we call this as 3. Now consider LHS. Write down the terms as it is. Sine inverse of minus 1 upon 2 plus cos inverse of minus root 3 by 2. Whatever values we got from 1 and 2, those we substitute here. Sine inverse of minus 1 upon 2 we got minus pi by 6. Cos inverse of minus root 3 by 2 we got 5 pi by 6. Common denominator is there. So find the difference. Minus pi plus 5 pi, that is 4 pi upon 6. Okay. So we divide by 2 to the numerator and denominator, giving you 2 pi by 3 as the answer. But let us see equation 3. 2 pi by 3 is nothing but cos inverse of minus 1 upon 2. So we replace this 2 pi by 3 by cos inverse of minus 1 upon 2 and give the reason there that here we are using equation 3 and this is nothing but RHS. So in this way we prove LHS is equal to RHS. Sometimes we may start with RHS to LHS accordingly, which is convenient you choose. Okay. Now third one under the same heading, prove LHS is equal to RHS or prove the following. Now again we find out the value for each term. Let sine inverse 3 upon 5 is equal to x. Remember here we are having 3 and 5 as the sides of the triangle actually. So we'll have to mention here you are getting the right angle triangle. So x is less than pi by 2 and greater than 0. Okay. With the Pythagorean triplet also you can find out or cross check. But we are using the inverse trigonometric functions, therefore we follow by that method only. Sine inverse 3 by 5 equal to x. So this is very important condition. X is less than pi by 2 greater than 0. Why? Because we are finding cos x after this step. So with the definition sin x is 3 upon 5. As this is positive, though it is less than pi by 2 greater than 0, but the values are positive or the angles are positive, so cos x is also positive. See, the quadrant is first you can say. No? And in the first quadrant all the trigonometric functions are positive, therefore cos x is greater than 0. And we can use cos x as root of 1 minus sin square x. You know the identity, sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. So cos square x is 1 minus sin square x. If we take the square root, you will get plus or minus sign. And to discard that minus sign, you will have to give the reason that x is less than pi by 2 greater than 0. Therefore cos x is greater than 0. Okay. So here we don't have minus of root of 1 minus sin square x. We have only plus of root. So put the values. Sin x you know is 3 upon 5. Put here at the place of sin square x, which is under root 1 minus 9 by 25. Square of 3 by 5 is 9 by 25. Then find the difference 25 minus 9 upon 25, which is under root 16 upon 25. Find its square root, which is 4 by 5. Remember the method how we are trying. This is different sum now. Next is second term. It should be cos inverse of 12 upon 13. Okay. So we write this as cos inverse of 12 by 13. And we assume this as y. Next step is use the definition and write down the condition like this. X is less than pi by 2 greater than 0. So here also we write y is less than pi by 2 greater than 0. Okay. Therefore sin y is greater than 0. This is to choose whether this value is plus or minus outside the square root. I am saying that is plus or minus. So sin y is under root 1 minus cos square y. Here we are not having minus sign because sin y we considered greater than 0. Now find the value of cos y, which is the square of 12 by 13, that is 144 upon 169. Find the difference. 169 minus 144 is 25. Okay. The denominator is 169. Its square root is 5 by 13. See, this is very, very easy. The same procedure we are following. That's all. It's not difficult. Now we use the addition formula for sin of x plus y. You know that sin x plus y is equal to sin x cos y plus cos x sin y. Why we are using like this is the terms in LHS are given in that form only. So we put the values here, sin x into cos y plus cos x into sin y. These values we already got. Okay. So those values we put here. Sin x is 3 by 5. Cos y is 12 by 13. Cos x is 4 by 5. And this sin y is 5 by 13. Okay. So the denominator is 65. 12 multiplied by 3, that is 36. 4 multiplied by 5 is 20, and the denominator is 65. Common denominator we have, so add these two, 36 plus 20, which is 56. So here we got sine of x plus y. See here we got sine x plus y is equal to 56 upon 65. Now use the definition. What is the definition of inverse trigonometric functions? We can write x plus y is equal to sine inverse of 56 upon 65, right? Okay, but what are x and y? Go to the previous page or the previous slide and substitute x and y. You will get the answer. So here we write the next step, x plus y as sine inverse of 56 upon 65, and therefore replace this x and y whatever we assumed in the previous slide. Sine inverse of 3 by 5 is x, cos inverse of, this is cos inverse of 12 by 13 is y, and which is equal to sine inverse of 56 upon 65 we got. Okay, so in this way we proved. Now question number 4. Cos inverse of 3 by 5 plus cos inverse of 4 by 5. You will have to prove pi by 2. Okay. Again, find out the principal values for each term. Let cos inverse of 3 by 5 is equal to x. See how many times we are solving the same sums again and again. The type remains the same. But remember, though you feel this is very easy, the question arises while finding the principal value branch, while writing the principal value branch. You must be very careful there. Now with the definition we write cos x is equal to 3 by 5. Therefore sin x is root of 1 minus cos square x. Now here we will have to write the condition. What is the condition? Condition is this x is less than pi by 2 greater than 0. Okay, whenever you have cos x as 3 by 5, obviously x is less than pi by 2 greater than 0, and therefore write sin x is greater than 0. Otherwise the question arises why we are not writing plus or minus sign. So to consider positive sign, we will have to write on this, and for this the previous step is x less than pi by 2 greater than 0. So after writing cos x is equal to 3 by 5, write down x less than pi by 2 greater than 0. After that write sin x is greater than 0, and then you write sin x is equal to root of 1 minus cos square x, which is, now simplify, which is under root 1 minus square of 3 by 5 is 9 upon 25, which is under root 16 by 25, which is equal to 5. Okay. Now x is equal to, see with this, sin x is equal to 4 by 5. Therefore x is equal to sine inverse of 4 by 5. So what we got here? Cos inverse of 3 by 5 is equal to x, which is again x is equal to sine inverse of 4 by 5. See, this is x and this as well. So we can equate cos inverse of 3 by 5 with sine inverse of 4 by 5, right? So this value we put in LHS. So what it is? Cos inverse 3 by 5, the same step is repeated here. We call that as 1. And in LHS, as I told, we substitute cos inverse of 3 by 5 plus cos inverse of 4 by 5. Now this value we write sine inverse of 4 by 5, and this is cos inverse of 4 by 5, and give the reason in which step you are using, that we'll have to write, and which is equal to pi by 2, because this is one of the property of inverse trigonometric functions, that is sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2, and therefore this is equal to RHS we can write. Is the idea clear how we are following? It is very easy. Now question number 3. Sub question 5. Tan inverse 1 upon 2 plus tan inverse 1 upon 3 is equal to pi by 4. See, again the question is of the same type. Prove the following. Now we'll have to recall the properties of inverse trigonometric functions. You please read all the inverse trigonometric functions, the domain, the range and the properties every day. Tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y is tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Okay. So here both x and y are positive and xy is less than 1. Actually x and y both positive is remaining same for another property for xy greater than 1. So x and y positive remains the same, but the cases are according to xy less than 1 and one more is xy greater than 1. So here tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse of x plus y upon 1 minus xy. See, xy is less than 1. This is x and this is y. 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 3, which is 1 upon 6, and that is less than 1. What will happen otherwise if you are not writing the condition? If xy is greater than 1, then the formula changes. Therefore, we will have to check. Okay. Now, in the formula we substitute. Therefore, tan inverse of 1 upon 2 plus tan inverse of 1 upon 3 is equal to tan inverse of x plus y. X is 1 upon 2 and y is 1 upon 3. So, this is x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Simplify. Which is tan inverse of, see the LCM, 2 into 3 is 6. Okay. To this we multiply by 3 and to this by 2, giving you 3 plus 2. The denominator is, this is 1 upon 6. So to this 1 we multiply by 6. Numerator here is, it is 6 minus 1 upon 6, which is tan inverse of 3 plus 2 is 5. This common denominator 6 and 6 gets cancelled and we left with tan inverse of 5 upon 5, which is equal to tan inverse of 1. And you know the value of tan inverse of 1. Either you write directly pi by 4 or you may replace 1 by tan 45 degrees, that is tan pi by 4. And again we use the property tan inverse of tan of theta is always theta. So tan inverse of tan pi by 4 is equal to pi by 4 and which is equal to RHS. Clear? I hope you have understood the method of solving the sums from exercise 3.3 using the inverse trigonometric functions, their domain, range and the properties. You do more and more practice on this. Thank you.